A couple months ago, I decided I wanted to completely move my business across the world to Dubai, and a couple days ago, I made that a complete reality, and I went from Australia, cut all ties to Australia, and moved across the other side of the world to Dubai. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my personal life, what's been happening in my world the past couple weeks, past couple months. If you're interested, if you're curious, and of course, I'm going to give you an apartment tour of the place I'm staying here, at least for the first month. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the apartment tour, and then I'm going to give you some personal life updates if you're curious to hear about what's been going on in my life. Okay, so welcome to the apartment tour. Now, this is the most I've ever spent on rent in my entire life. So it's super interesting. I've really liked the place for the past 48 hours. I'm kind of wanting to stay here longer. Maybe I might get a new place, I'm not too sure, but I do really enjoy this spot. So I want to show you a good look at where I'm staying at the moment. So there was a desk right here that was actually outside, and before I show you everything else, I want to explain this to you. So this thing is so heavy, like incredibly heavy. It's like a tile, like a massive tile. And it was sitting outside, and I said, that is the perfect desk for me. Like, I don't want to end up working there the whole time I'm here. But yeah, I ended up trying to shimmy that through here. Ended up having to put it on its side, but it was incredibly difficult doing that on my own. I probably should have asked the real estate agent that I was with, or the guy that gave me the keys, to help me with that. But hey ho, it works and it looks really good. But let me show you the actual rest of the apartment. So you walk in, you've got the kitchen area, dining area. It's where I'm obviously going to eat all my food. And then we've got the work setup. The LED lights here are pretty cool. Don't worry, in real life, they're not flashing like that. That's just the camera for some reason. I don't know why it does that. But yeah, it's just a really nice setup here. Nice spot to chill out. And then I don't really watch any TV. I don't watch Netflix or anything like that. So that TV will most likely not get used unless I'm watching like a podcast or something like that that's, I guess, educational, informational. But yeah, this is just the main living room, nothing special. And then here is where I sleep. I've made the bed the best that I possibly can. I'm obviously not succeeding very well at it, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's a nice little living area, or nice little bedroom here. Again, a TV that I probably will not use because I don't watch Netflix or any of that type of stuff. And then you've got the bathroom as well, which is nice and neat. If I put on all the lights there, pretty neat. Nothing crazy, but not out of this world. But the thing that is out of this world is this view that I want to show you guys. Like, I've never lived in a skyrise or anything like that before, and it's actually just nuts. Like, this is the type of view that I dreamed of years upon years upon years ago, and it's just insane. Like, it's super inspiring to look at and observe. Like, this is the Dubai Marina down there, which is really cool. It's pretty shitty weather today, but it is what it is. It was really sunny yesterday, but yeah, this view is super inspiring just to look at every single day, especially to work from, in there. And yeah, I guess that's the apartment tour. Okay, so now that you've seen the apartment tour, let me give you a bit of a personal insight into my life right now. So if you guys aren't aware or you didn't see me post on Instagram, if you're not following me there, go follow me there right now. It's just at Connor Healy _ and you can see all the updates of like client results and things like that that's going on in my life. You see a lot more frequency of posting on there, and they post on YouTube 3 times a week. But if you guys didn't see it already, I ended up flying first class at the ripe old age of 23 when I left Australia to permanently relocate to Dubai. I'm going to explain that here in a second, but let me tell you about first class. First class was an amazing experience, really cool. I feel very privileged and grateful to be able to experience something like that at such a young age, considering that most people their entire lifetime never get to experience such an experience. So I feel very blessed and grateful to be in the position to do that. But the flight overall was really cool. Definitely a height of luxury that I'm not used to. And yeah, it was pretty awesome, to put it lightly. There was nobody else in first class. It was just me, which was really cool, because I was the only person getting served. So I had 4 flight attendants, or flight hostesses, if you want to call them that, and they were just attending to me and whatever I wanted. So pretty much the rules on a first class flight is you can order one of each item on the menu, whereas because there was nobody there, I could order anything that I want as much as I wanted. And I literally got to the point where I ate myself to being sick, where I literally had stomach issues all day the following day, where I felt terrible when I landed in Dubai. It wasn't a good result, but it was worth it anyway because the food was amazing. Um, if you go look in my highlights on my story on Instagram, you'll see me a video of actually taking a shot of vodka with the caviar, and I didn't react pretty well. The vodka was actually pretty nice, but I'm just terrible with alcohol. I don't really drink in general. I'm just not a big fan of alcohol in the grand scheme of things. So it didn't go down so well for me. I had a bit of champagne here and there, probably the best champagne you can get. I didn't even know what it was or what it was called, but it tasted very good. It tasted better than most champagne that I've ever had in my entire lifetime, so that was great. The food was fantastic. The whole experience was amazing. I actually ended up having a separate place to sleep, so a separate seat because no one was there basically. And so they set up my bed for me. It was a very interesting experience being able to actually sleep on a flight. I've never been able to do that my entire life, as I'm sure a majority of you watching haven't either. It's ending up sleeping on economy, just trying to nod off to the person that's cramped up next to you, and you end up with a very sore neck. Um, and you never really actually get sleep. It's kind of just like slightly in and out. So that was pretty crazy. Even getting like 5 hours of sleep on a flight on a 14-hour leg from Australia to Dubai was really cool. I've never felt refreshed coming off a flight before. I think this seat just rocks, so hopefully I can make sure that looks straight or hold it there. But yeah, first class experience was absolutely amazing. It's probably an understatement. It was really, really cool. It's not like I'm going to be doing that everywhere I go, but for those longer leg flights, it's definitely inspiring and motivating because for myself, I'm not really a very materialistic person. Like, I don't really care for a lot of that stuff. The main reason why I got into high ticket sales or learn the skill in the first place was to get freedom. Like, do what I want, where I want, with who I want, and not have a boss that's breathing on my neck with passive aggressive comments, which I'm sure a lot of you might be used to in your current 9 to 5 if you do work one. And yeah, just have geographical freedom, because that leads me to my next point. I've permanently left Australia. I've permanently relocated to Dubai. So I've moved all the way across the world, and it's my new adventure. It's my new chapter. And at 23 years old, it's pretty crazy to say that I've moved to Dubai, which is super, super exciting. Pretty uncomfortable. It's a new place. When I first came here in October, it was very uncomfortable. It was everybody here. I might be a big boy back in Australia, but in Dubai, everybody here is incredibly successful. We're talking like number plates that cost like $250,000, very expensive cars everywhere. But also paired with that, you're surrounded with a lot of inspiration. Like, this view for myself is really inspiring. It's really cool to wake up every single day to work, take sales calls there, record content here. I just feel very blessed and grateful to have created the life that I have, with the skill primarily being based upon of everything that I've created, which is high ticket sales or learning sales, right? This is the skill that has built the entire reality of which I have right now. First class flights, everything you see behind me, that's all a result of learning that skill. Like, that skill literally netted me, I think it was yesterday in total, we did about like $18,000 in cash collected for the business, which is insane to say. And I'm usually not very public with numbers, but I think I might be sharing a little bit more of that in the future, because I think it inspires a lot of you to keep pushing and keep being inspired. And I never want to be the person that's bragging, going, "Oh, look at me," blah, blah, blah. It's never really about that. It's really more of like, I've come from absolutely nothing. Like, not absolutely nothing. No, I'm not. I didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up where I was like fighting for my next meal. And that was not my reality, right? Not like most of these guys that you see. But I'm just a general guy from a middle class family. I never had to worry about bills or getting food on the table, but I knew that I always wanted something more for myself. I always wanted to do something different. I wanted to succeed outside of the norm. And everything that you see, the apartment that I just spoke about, that I shared with you, the amazing successful business day that I had yesterday. I was working from like 4 to like 7:30 at night, technically 10 p.m. because I had a follow-up call at 10. So massive day, very successful. Not all days look like that, but I kind of want to share with you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I feel like what I've seen as a bit of a thing that most people want to see on social media is raw authenticity. That's why a lot of people end up joining the RSA. That's why a lot of people end up watching the YouTube channel as long as they do, and that's why we've hit 1,000 subscribers. So that's super cool, and it just shows that consistency really pays off. I've been posting 3 videos a week every single week for about 8 months straight, and a lot of people really struggle to do that. And I think for a big part of my success, that's why I attribute it to. And a key learning that if you're going to learn anything from this video besides just personal life updates and everything involved, is that consistency is the most powerful thing that you can use to get the results you're looking for. Pick one thing, high ticket sales, whatever it might be, and stick with it for a long time. Consistency is what matters. It's what breaks walls, right? There's a quote that I'm going to completely botch and absolutely butcher, but it's something along the lines of, water doesn't cut through rocks or stone because of its power, but because of its persistence. And I think a big learning or takeaway that I want to share with you, if you're watching this video, is that to build everything that I've built today, to get the success that I've brought to myself, that I've created my reality, is literally just by consistency and doing the same thing over and over and over again. Thinking about heading into 2024, you have to realize that whatever goal that you want to achieve, whatever thing that you want to attain, if you want to move across the world, if you want to travel with your buddies, you want geographical freedom, you want all these freedoms, you want all these luxuries, it's not going to be the one special thing. It's not going to be the one special bullet that you eat or you take. Hang on, the food's here. I'm going to be back 1 second. All right, we're back with food. I didn't want to leave the door guy waiting, but what I was saying before is that consistency is what matters. And for the vast majority of you, so many people search for this one thing, this one hack, this one strategy, this one thing. It's never going to be that. It's going to be doing the fundamentals, it's going to be doing the basics, it's going to be doing the one thing for a very long time that's going to enable you to create the reality that you see me living today. Right? The only reason I'm able to travel, live across the world, do all these things is literally just by sticking to the one thing for an incredibly painful long time. One last thing that I'll add before I sign off for this video, because I've got to eat this food because it's going to get cold, is that we had an amazing gentleman join the training program yesterday. His name is, I think it was Ahmet, from memory, hopefully, fingers crossed. And similar, the same thing for him is that we talked about this discussion where, for myself personally, and for him as well, he's been investing in skills for a long time, waiting for that payoff, but he quite hasn't seen that yet. And I feel like very confident that I'm going to facilitate the transformation that's going to really hit his exponential growth, because he's been working at the game for a long time, many, many years up until now, accruing all these skills. But I feel like I'm the person that's going to really enable him to just get that exponential growth, just like I did for myself. I've invested, 160K in my own training, development skills and training, things like that. And for years, I invested, 55K total, but probably 50, 45K, 40K back, probably about 40K back then in sales training directly alone. And I literally had my mum said to me on the second or third year full-time into it, she's like, Connor, do you actually want to make some money from this? Because I kept on investing more money, and never getting the actual crazy return, because I just invested every dollar I had back into this thing, into getting incredibly good at sales and just being devoted to the craft. And one final point I'll highlight on that. Riley, who you would have seen, who was interviewed on the channel more recently, he invested another $18,000 in more sales training from a sales trainer that's well known in the space. How many of you are that committed to achieving what you want to achieve, right? How committed are you, and how willing are you to do the boring work, the foundational stuff, for an incredibly painful and long time? How willing are you to do that? Because if you ask yourself that question and you find out what sacrifices you are willing to make to get there, you will then finally know what the roadmap is actually going to look like. So, without further ado, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the personal update and my little bit of rant about a couple learnings that I've had over the past couple of months and the past couple of days of sales calls and interviewing clients, things like that. Hope you're all having an amazing week. And yeah, thanks for subscribing. 1,000 subscribers, really, really cool. And I will see you guys in the next one.